Okay, so let's start our today's session. Okay, so until yesterday, we studied about two parts in our lecture. So the most basic part we studied was the advanced SQL statements commands. Okay, so we studied about 5 types of advanced SQL commands, and then we moved on to, so we also know now that what are timestamps, how do we deal with it, subquery, self joins. Then moving on to creating databases and tables. So we know how much data types are, and how do we define them, right? So what are primary key and foreign key, what are the constraints that we can define, and we saw all the table queries as well, right, specifically. And then we moved on to conditional expressions and procedures. So over here we want to continue from here today, because I think I left case statements, case function, and I think I covered this. Nullify, the practical part was left for this, and views, right? So let's just study about case, and then we will move on to the practicals for today. Okay. So this case used only to execute statements when certain conditions are met, very similar to if else. Okay, so this is very similar to if else statement in Python, which you have studied, or any other programming language. Okay, there are two types of case statements: general case and case expression. Okay, in general case you can use any sign greater than, less than, equal to. Okay, and like it has been written over here that it allows us to do all kinds of conditional checks. Okay, case expression basically allows us to do only certain checks. Okay, so only certain conditions, like only certain checks like equality you can do over here. Okay, in Postgres we can only see equality in case expression. Okay, so this is there. Let's see the practical for it as well, because you will understand from it well. Okay, so I hope I guess I've zoomed it, so it might be visible to you. Okay, so just a minute. Okay, so we are selecting the customer table over here. Okay, so this is, that this is the customer table. I think that you might have known the DVD rental data very nicely, I guess. Okay, so this is there. Okay, now we are selecting the customer ID. Okay, and from the customer table. Okay, so just I will tell you the basic syntax for writing your case statements. Okay, so what you have to do is write select statement. Okay, table name, sorry, column name. Okay, column names to differ. Okay, now you write from, right? From. Okay, so this is the basic, right? In between, just insert case. Okay, and then you end it. Okay, so you insert some of the cases and then you end the case. Okay, so it's like if the condition is there and then you end that condition. Okay, now this is the very basic syntax. Okay, now if you so this is I guess you also remember the switch case type statements that we studied. Okay, so this is there. Like you initiated that you want to use if else, and then you specify the conditions using the when statement. Okay, now it's just the simple syntax. Okay, so you just write the conditions over here, whatever condition you want to mention. Okay, so this is the basic syntax that you can refer to for case statements, case function. Okay, now let's see some example, and then I guess it will be more clear to you. Okay, so over here we are selecting the customer ID, and we are trying to perform. So just see, you know the real table, right? So we have the customer ID. Okay, right, and we are trying to segregate our customers. Okay, so if the customer ID is less than 100, less than equal to 100, then we are classifying them into the premium category. And if the customer ID is between 100 and 200, then we are categorizing them into the plus category. Okay, else normal. Okay, so it's like if else, right? Okay, so if you want to use if else in your SQL, you have to use the case function. Okay, now you end, and you are giving a name as the customer class to these categories which you have defined. Okay, so let's just run. Okay, so you see that the customer ID 524 has been classified to normal category. So this so this customer ID 524 has been classified to normal category. 1 to 100, we said that it should be classified as premium. So you see that all are premium, premium, premium. Okay, premium. And then you see greater than 100 and less than 200 are the plus category. Okay, so this is how you can segregate. Okay, so you need to specify the condition that if my customer ID is this, then the customer class should be normal, else this. So for all these purposes, you can use case statement. Okay, now the example you saw right now, this was a general case expression. Okay, so it was like over here you see that we are specifying the condition, right? We are using less than, equal to, between, anything. Okay, so we can apply any checks in general case expression, right? We studied about this. Now in case expression, okay, so in other type of case statements, the case expression, you have only certain checks. Okay, and I told you about equality. Okay, so this is an example of case expression statement. Okay, okay, so let's just see this. Okay, now over here, instead of taking the condition like you took over here, customer ID less than equal to 100, you are specifying that if the customer ID is 2, then he should be declared as winner. Okay, and if the customer ID is 5, then he or she should be declared as second place. Okay, so he should be in the second place. Okay, else they should all be in normal category. Okay, so this, you see, you are applying a certain number. Okay, so you are checking for the equality now. Okay, you are not writing an expression over here like in general case statements you did. Okay, so this is case expression, and this is general case statement example. Okay, so you see over here that 2 has been declared as winner, and 5 has been declared in the second place. Okay, so this is it, what we are trying to convey. Okay, so let me know if you have any question in this. Okay, we can have more cases, more examples, of course. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you can just play around it. Like we can select the film table. Okay, so the film table has rental rate in it. Okay. Now we are selecting the rental rate. Okay, and checking if the value of rental rate is 0.99, then I will assign it as 1. Okay, else 0. Okay, now just see the output. Okay, you see that you have defined the name. Okay, so you see that if you have defined the name, okay, so yeah, so when you see that when you have 0.991, you get the value as 1. Okay, you get the case value as 1. Okay, and the default column name will be case. Okay, so you see a case name column has been created automatically. I haven't defined it over here, right? So corresponding to 0.99, 1 has been assigned. Rest for other rows, 0 has been assigned. Okay, so how it will help me? So it will help you in calculating the number of 0.99s occurring in your table, actually. Okay, so see, just over here, we are doing the same thing. We are taking the sum. Okay, so if I sum these ones, I will get the total count of 0.99s occurring in my this table, right? So that is what we are doing in this query. We are wanting the sum or the count of all the movies with rental rate equal to 0.99. Okay, then we are doing this and just see the output. I will explain you with the output. Okay, so you see that in our case, what we have done is we have taken the rental rate when 0.99, then 1, else 0. Okay, so we have defined that when my rental rate is 0.99, then make it 1, else make it 0. Okay, and I've named the column as bargains. Okay, and I've calculated the sum of the whole. Okay, so you know that if I do this, I will be able to take out the sum of total user IDs who has bargained. Okay, who are in the bargain category, or let's say who have paid 0.99 as the rent. Okay, so yeah, over here we are taking the count of the customers who have taken 0.99, given 0.99 rupees or dollar. Okay, and over here doing the same thing with 2.99. Okay, and here we are taking the same thing for 4.99 and renaming it as premium. Okay, over here regular. Okay, so you see the count, or you can say sum of all those customers who gave this much money. Okay, so over here 341 people, 341 user IDs, you can say. Okay, or I think user ID was the primary key, right? So 341 user IDs or customer IDs, whatever, have paid 0.99 dollars. 323 people have paid $2.99, and 336 people have paid $4.99. Okay, so this is how it works. So you need to focus on the use of case statement over here, right? And in what situation do you use case? Okay. Okay. So yeah. So now you also understand the definition for it, that it is used only to execute statements when certain conditions are met, very similar to if or else statement in our Python or any other programming language that we use. Okay, and collects, I guess I clarified this to you yesterday, so it should be clear by now. Cast also has been covered. Null if, I will come to it. Okay, I will come to it now. Okay. Now null if. So what null if do is basically it returns a null value if the arguments inside null if are equal. Okay, so if the arguments inside are equal, it will return you null value. Else, if it is different, like in the example illustrated over here, it will return you the first argument which is there. Okay, whatever second argument is there, it will return you the first argument. Okay, so let's understand the its illustration. Okay. Okay. Now you see that we are creating table students, right? With the name students. Okay. And we are creating it with two columns, first name and the branch. Okay. So this was the same table that you saw over there, right? So I will just show you again. So this table we are talking about student and branch. Okay. So student first name and branch he is in. Okay. Um, so Kundan wants me to elaborate cast again. So let me know if more people want. I will do elaborate it and we'll keep it for last. Okay. Just let me know, Vajay. Okay. Now I will continue with Nalaf. Okay, sure. Then I will take it. Okay. For now, let's concentrate on Nalaf. Okay. We are creating a table students and we are taking only two columns within it, first name and branch. Okay. Now I will just run this. Now we are inserting three values into the table which we created. Okay. And it's the same example that we took in the slides. Okay. XYZ is the name, AA, B is the branch for the students. Okay. Now let's just see how our table looks like. Okay. We have inserted the values. Now, what we are doing is we want to calculate the sum of total ratio of students in branch A to branch B. Okay. So I will repeat my objective again. My objective is to calculate the sum of total ratio of students in branch A to branch branch B. Okay. So branch A by branch B. But over here, we will do sum of students in branch A divided by sum of students in branch B. So I want this ratio. Okay. So we are doing it over here. This is normal using case statements. Okay. So we are taking case when branch equal to A, then 1. I will assign it as 1. So as I can take the sum. Okay. So you know that whenever we have to do like this, I mean, whenever we have to count the number of rows, a certain value is occurring. Using case statement, you can do like this. Okay. You can assign it as 1 and then take out the sum. Okay. It will help you get the sum or the count, whatever you want. Okay. So let's run this. Okay. So you got the ratio. And the name we have given it as branch ratio. Of course, it will be 2 by 1, right? Because it was 2 and this was 1. So 2 by 1 will be 2. Okay, so you got the ratio as 2. Now let's delete the branch where branch equal to b. Okay, so from this table, I'm deleting the instance where branch equal to b. So I will just show you the actual table and delete this row. Okay. Now see the table. Okay, you see that only 2 instances are there. Okay, now let's take the ratio again. Okay, branch A to branch B. What you will get? An error. Okay, and what that error says? Division by 0, because there is no branch B, right? And definitely you are dividing 2 by 0. Okay, so when I try to calculate ratio again, I get division by 0 error. Okay, in this case, nullif argument comes into role. Okay, now you see, this is what we want to do with the part which has been highlighted. Now you see how I handle the error. Okay, so you see that, let me just, okay, it might be visible for you now. Okay, so what we have done is, so over here we have taken the normal sum for branch equal to A, right? Because this we wanted. Now we have just substituted nullif, okay, before branch equal to B. Okay, and if you have a doubt with A as well, you can also put nullif over here. Okay, so you see that one argument for nullif is this. Okay, the first argument for nullif is this, comma 0. Okay, so over here, what you will get? You will get 0, right? Because there is no branch B, right? And you know that when the arguments within nullif are similar, you get the value as null. Okay, and divide by 0 is not possible, but we divide or multiply anything by null, we get null. Okay, not this error which we have got now. Okay, so when you run this, you get the output as null, because 2 by null is null. Okay, so this is the use of nullif. Okay, let me know if you have not understand it. Okay, I will repeat it again. Okay, what is 35 to 39? Okay, I'm repeating it again. Yes, Vipin, we are getting null because of nullif. Okay, I'm repeating it again for who hasn't understood. And I'm taking this. Okay, so I have deleted. So I will just, okay, just give me a minute. I would have to delete the table schemas and then tables, students table we have created. Okay, just a minute. Okay, I have dropped it because it was already there. Okay, I've created the table students again. I'm inserting these 3 values. Okay, Now let's just see what is actual students table that we have. Okay, so this is our actual students table that we have. Okay, now we are wanting to take the sum of total sum of ratio of students in branch A to branch B. Okay, so by seeing it, you can say that it should be 2 by 1, that is 2. Okay, this is 2. I mean, students in A are 2 and students in B is 1. So the ratio will be 2 by 1. Okay, so let's just run this and you get the branch ratio as 2. Okay. Now I'm deleting the instance. So this is the instance I will show you again. So this is the instance, the third row. Okay. So I'm deleting the instance where my branch equal to B. Okay. I'm deleting this row. Delete from students where branch equal to B. Okay. Now if you see the table, only AA is there. Now, if you try to take out the ratio, you see that we are getting an error, which is division by 0. And that is definite because 2 by 0 is not possible. Division by 0 is not possible. Okay. So in this case, you have to use nullif to avoid division by 0. And I hope you might remember from your Excel class as well that how did we how did we handle the division by 0 error over there also? So I think the name was same. Nullif formula is only there. I mean, in Excel also. So that is the same. Theory same, use is same. Okay. The way of writing is different. Okay. So when we take this, we get an error. Okay. So yeah, definitely. Division by 0 is not possible. Okay. But if we divide or multiply anything by null, we get null. Okay. That is why on the same theory, we have just added this keyword nullif before our statement. Okay. So you know that nullif takes 2 arguments. Okay. This is our first argument. This statement is our first argument. And the second argument is 0. Okay. So in case if this first argument returns the value as 0, okay, in that case, it will be similar, right? So both the arguments will become similar, 0, 0, right? So you know the theory that if nullif contains both the arguments similar, both the similar arguments, it returns the value as null. Okay, else it will return you the value. Sorry, else it will return you the first argument. Okay. So if this is not 0, let's say in normal case also, if this is not 0, it will return you the value of first argument. Else if it is 0, it will return you the value as null. Okay. And you know that 2 by null will give you null. Okay. Not an error. Okay. So that is what we are trying to do. We are trying to handle the error in a way. Okay. So I hope now it is clear to you guys who requested to repeat again. You can confirm me over the chat. Okay. Vishwas, I didn't get your question. Okay. Now let's move on to our last procedure that we want to discuss. Okay. So the last topic for the day, for yesterday was views. Okay. So let's just study it today. Okay, so often there are specific combinations of tables and conditions that you use again and again. Okay. Instead of performing the same query every time as a starting point, you can create a view to quickly see this query with a simple call. Okay. So view can be accessed as a virtual table and it does not store the data physically. It simply stores the query. Okay. So let's just understand it. Suppose that I'm giving you an example. Suppose that we have a table IMDb original. Okay. I want to extract the top 10 movies from IMDb dataset and store it as IMDb top 10. Okay. Now I want to calculate the average IMDb rating of top 10 movies. Okay, I will repeat again. So what I want to do is I want to calculate the average IMDb rating of top 10 movies. Okay, so I don't need to go back to IMDb original and then extract top 10 and then store it in the form of IMDb top 10 and then work over the IMDb top 10 to get the average of IMDb rating. Okay, what I can do is I can directly go to IMDb top 10. Okay, let's just think that IMDb top 10 has been stored virtually. Okay, what we can do is I can directly go to IMDb top 10 and then calculate the average rating from that table. I mean, calculate the average rating for the top 10 movies. Okay, so in this example which I illustrated you, IMDb top 10 is called as view. Okay, if not understood, so I mean, just try to understand this theory again. We will also see the practical and it will be more clear to you. Okay, so in a way, you might have seen that we always, for any work we want to do, we always need to select star from this table name and where condition is this, and order by, group by, the common ones which we always write. Okay, so often there are specific combinations of tables and conditions that you use again and again, right? So you might have seen me writing the select from, group by, sort by, I mean order by, these statements often and often, right? So instead of performing the same query every time as a starting point, you can create a view to quickly see this query with a simple call. Okay, what we mean is you can store that piece of repeated lines which we use always as a view in the form of view. Okay, so that whenever you want it, you can just call it. Okay, you do not write those statements again, you just call it and use it as per your use case. Okay, so it's written over here that it can be accessed as a virtual table. Okay, so you can just call it because it has been stored virtually. Okay, and it does not store the data physically. So if you wanna, I mean, see that how it has been stored, where in the database it has been stored, you will not be able to find it because it has been stored virtually. Okay, not physically. Okay, so it simply stores the query. Okay, now let's see the practical for this. Okay, I guess over here. Okay. I will keep the output over here. Yeah. So over here, we are taking two tables, customer table and address table. Okay, customer table and address table. Okay, let's just also see it once because we do not remember it. I hope the output is visible. Yeah. Okay, so this is your customer table and okay, there is address ID. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So you see in these, I mean, in both of these tables, address ID is a similar column in these. Okay. So we have taken two tables, customer and address. In address, you see, we have many columns. Okay. Now we'll join both these tables on address ID. Okay, we will join customer table and address table on address ID. Okay, and see what is the first name, last name, address of the customers. Okay, so the query is written over here. We are joining these two tables and we want to see what is the first name, last name, address of the customers. Okay, now I'm running it. So we have joined both the tables and we have joined on address ID. Okay, now we have first name, last name, and address. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to store this query as a view. Okay, so that I can do operations on this 3-column table only. Okay, and I do not need to, and I do not want to write these 3 lines often and often again. Okay, so what I will do is I will create a view. Okay, so you see that I'm creating a view. Okay, you see that these 3 lines are the same. Okay, and you need to add this line. Okay, so you are writing create view. Okay, so for creating the view, you are creating a view. Okay, so you are creating a view with an alias as customer info. Okay, now if you run this, so over here we are trying to say that we are creating a view with the name as customer info, and we are creating a view of this query. Okay, that is why we have specified this over here. Okay, so you see that query has returned successfully. Now we analyze the customer info table customer info view that we have created. Okay, so this is the same, right? Now we can either create or replace view. I mean, we can either create another view or replace the current view. Okay, so the current view is customer info only. So we are doing the same thing, but what we want is we are wanting to add district to our existing query. Okay, so we can either create another view or replace the existing view. Okay, for some modifications if we want. Okay, so over here we want to add district to our existing view, so I'm doing it like this. Okay, and now if you just see this, district column has been added. Okay, so this is how you do it. So this is how you create a view. Okay, so I guess it is clear to you. Although in our practical today we will be using these concepts today to do the questions of your assignment 3. I guess you got 3 questions in your assignment. And okay, what if we try to create a new view with the same name? Will the initially created view be deleted? It might be that it get overwritten. Okay, so you can try that with the same name. Okay, so shall we move to your practical, I mean assignment for yesterday which you did? Okay, you guys wanted me to discuss cast as well. Okay, I will keep this for last. Okay, we will take it for last. Now let's move on to the practical session for today. Okay, so I guess this was your assignment for yesterday? Just confirm me over chat, guys. That was it this one or okay? So and I think it was this only. So did you guys try it? I mean, try any of the questions mentioned here? Okay. No reply means okay. So you guys have tried, I assume, right? So no worries. Let's just discuss. Okay. For our analysis, let's just move to the first question. Okay, so we will be discussing two questions. I will be taking two questions. The first question and the second question, I guess the data for the third question wasn't provided. Okay, so we'll just discuss if you want. We'll go for first and second for now. Okay, now, yeah, so we'll discuss question one for now. Okay, for this, what I have done is I have created a new database. So I created this one yesterday only, but did not use it, right? So we'll use it today, this database, Shivalik Learning. Okay. Now let's just go through the first question that we had. So given an order table with the schema ID, user ID, total created. Okay. So this order table has been provided to you. And we have this schema with us, ID, user ID, total created. Okay. Now write a SQL query to create a retention plot. Okay, so do you guys have any idea about retention plot? Just let me know over Q&A section. Okay, no worries. No worries. Okay. So I think I should take the second question first. What do you guys think? It is short. I will explain to you from retention plot in this, and let's just discuss question two first in this case. Okay. Yeah. Now, I will just drop off all the tables that I have uploaded till now because it will not work. I will show you from start. Okay. Oh yeah, I will leave it. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. Okay, guys. What I will do is I will write it in a new thing because reading like this wouldn't be clear to you. So I will just write it in a new as query tool as well. Okay. So over here, let's understand the question. So this was our second question. Given the tables, order timeline. Yeah, Kiran Bala, you are kind of correct. We'll discuss to it when we discuss the first question, when we will come to first question. Okay. So yeah, given the tables, order timeline and order shipment table, okay, write a SQL query to find order shipped before first message date, order shipped on first message date plus one, orders shipped on first message date plus two. Okay. And the last one is orders shipped after that. Okay. So basically we have two tables and that has been already provided to you. The first is order timeline and the second is order shipment. Okay. So in order timeline, we have these columns: schema ID, order ID, message, created. Okay. And in order shipment table, we have schema ID, order ID, actual dispatch date, and created. Okay. So we have to write a SQL query to find these four things. Okay. Now, let's just understand this. Over here. I want to check the date style for this, for our table. Okay. Okay. So what I will do is show date style. Okay. It is giving you month, date, and year. Okay. Now you see, first we will create the OT table. Okay. We have checked the date style for a purpose. Okay. We'll come to it. First of all, let's just load the table that we have. Okay. I'm loading the table. Okay. So for that, just a minute. So so we have a data set given, which is order timeline. Okay. And when you try to in order to load the data set, you have to load it in a table, right? So you need to create one. Okay. That is why we are creating a table over here as order timeline. Okay. So we are defining the same thing which has been defined in the table. Okay. Now we have created the table. Okay. Next we will load the table. Okay. So for you guys, I think this should work. This line should work for you guys. Okay. I mean, what you're doing, what you're trying to do is you are trying to specify. You will be specifying the address where your data set is. Okay. So order timeline.csv where you have kept it. Okay. So one more thing before coming to this point, you have been given the data in the .xlsx format, right? So you have been given the data. I guess this is it. Yeah. So this is your order timeline data. Okay. This is X. Just give me a second. Yeah, so this is your order timeline data, and you will see that it has been given in XLSX format. Okay. And in Postgres, remember that you need to convert into an Excel first. Okay. So you will convert it into a CSV format first. Okay. XLSX won't work in Postgres. Okay. So you just need to, wherever your data has been given, just download it in the form of CSV. Okay. And then upload it. Okay, so only .csv will work in Postgres. Okay, so for you guys, this line will work. Okay, but for me in my Postgres, this line isn't working, and that is because I haven't given some administration rights to it. Okay, so this is giving me some permission denied error. Okay, while I'm trying to upload it. Okay, so will, for me, this line won't work, but yeah, in the query file which you will get, you will see this line will be there, and just try for this line. Okay. What you're trying to do is you're trying to load this file and copy into it your OT table which you have created. Okay. So as to load or insert all the values into your table. Okay. With CSV header. Okay. So for me, since this line is not working, what I will do is I have created the OT table. I will just refresh it to see. Yeah, so OT has been created. Now what I will do is I will just import. Okay. Yeah, so for you guys also, if this is not working, you can try this. Okay, so this is the table that I want to import it. So I'm doing this manually, and you can do this through SQL query if you can. Okay, so I'm just selecting this. Okay, header yes, comma. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So it said that query returned successfully and successfully completed. So import operation has been successfully completed. Okay. So I will not write this line. Hope you have got it. Okay. So I haven't done this. One more thing. Yeah. So I will just see now my OT table. How is it working? So this is your OT table. Okay. This is your OT table. Yeah. Now you see something that in the query that you get, this message would be in the form of JSON. Okay. I have converted this into varchar form. Okay. In the string form, because I was kind of getting error with the daytime operations. Okay. So I have just made it string for now. Okay. Might be that the query that you get over here, it will be JSON for you. Okay. And yeah, I mean, you can go ahead with that also. I mean, if it is working for you, or else the query I'm showing it to you right now, you can also use that. You have both options. Okay. So now I'm creating another table, which is OS. So in OS table, we know that only 3 to 4 columns are there. Okay, so we'll just see how the table is. Okay, so we have the order timeline table, order shipment table as well. Okay, so you see that we have 3 columns in it: ID, order ID, and actual dispatch date. So this is the real order shipment table that you will get. Okay, now I'm doing this. I'm creating the table so that I can load the data into it. Okay. And you will see that there's some modification over here. Okay. Yeah. So you know that we have this 2 columns and this column only in our actual table, but I'm creating 4 new columns into it, and that is only for the daytime operations. Okay. So the problem was that the date time mentioned in my yeah, in my so basically the problem I was facing was in this stage while I was trying to yeah upload it. So yeah, I will show you the problem also. What if I okay, so I have this. Okay. Now let's create this OS table. Okay, this ran. We have created 3 columns, and now let's try running this line. Okay, so it says permission denied error for me. Okay, and that is because I have not granted it administration rights. Okay, and if you have done it, this error will not occur to you. Okay, so you can go ahead with it if it is running for you. Okay, but if not, okay, so to overcome this, I have another option. Okay, let's say if you're not able to run this query, to overcome this, what you can do is you have created this OS table. You can just go for import export option that I showed it to you. Now let's try for that as well. Okay, order shipment. Okay, header yes, comma. Okay, so you see that I'm getting failed. And when I try to see the error, so okay, just a minute. Extra data after last expected column. Yeah, I mean, this error that you will get if you will try to do that will be in some daytime operations. I do not remember the exact error which was occurring. Okay, this was not the error, so I do not remember it, but right now. But yeah, this error you will face at that time. Okay, so in order to do that, what I did was to introduce the introduce the string date time format. Okay, and convert it into the int and then take it into the date format. Okay, so originally the problem was that it was in the string format or so. Okay, what I tried to did is I tried to convert it into integers and then try to append those. Okay, and that is why I'm running this. Okay, I had to drop it. Okay, so we have to. Okay, so this returned successfully. Now let's just try to import table. Now I will load the data. Okay, so this is you can face issues while doing this. Okay, so this is how you can try something to resolve those issues. Okay, while doing this I also faced issues and have tried resolving. Okay, now the table has been loaded. Okay, so let's just visualize how this looks, this OS table looks. Okay, so you see that we have got the table. Okay, now you know that this 4 columns are useless for you, and that was just to deal with it with the string format that it occurred. Okay, so now you want to remove these. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm removing the unwanted columns. Okay, removing the unwanted columns. Okay, and all the lines will not run. I am dropping the columns. 4 columns that we had to create to convert it. Okay, now yeah, I will just run it again so that you see the original table that we wanted. Okay, so this is our original table that we wanted. Okay, now the operation with loading the data with the order time, loading the okay Now, the operation with, okay, what's happening? Okay, what I will do is I will just give me a minute. Yeah, I hope it is visible. Okay. So yeah, the thing we wanted to load the data and all, I mean, the errors that you're getting around the date operation and all, so that has been over for now. Okay. Now, let's focus on our next thing. Okay. What next we are trying to do is over here with this line, I'm trying to convert my, so you now know that I will show you again the OT table. You might have forgotten that. Yeah, so in OT table, you see that you have the message in the key value format, right? So it dispatch date and you have this, okay? So this over here, if you have not taken your message in the varchar format, okay? So if you have taken message in the JSON format, you need to run this line, this exact line, okay? But for me, I have already taken it in the string format, okay? And converting, I mean, extracting this, I mean, I wanted to extract the date over here, okay, and cast it into the date format, okay? But this wouldn't be possible for me. I mean, extracting the date like this wouldn't be possible. Okay, so this character, you know, I will tell you about this. So this is used to get the value in a key value pair, okay? So it would have helped you getting this value, the date part, okay, the value part, okay, this operator, okay, from the dispatch date, after the dispatch date, I mean, okay. So this would have helped you get the date and you are trying to cast it into the date format, okay. So for me, this wouldn't work because my date is already in the string format, okay. So I've already taken this in string format, okay. And this will not work as a key value pair anymore, okay. So for that, what I can do is, I mean, just yeah, so you see that we are trying to cast it into the date format, okay, because it's not the in the date format till now, okay. And doing the same thing with the actual dispatch date from the OS table, okay, trying to convert this into date format, okay. But for me, this wouldn't work. I will show you how I will do, okay. For now, understand it from here, okay. And then we are trying to create a temporary table, okay. So temporary table, let me tell you that this is a function in SQL, okay, to create a temporary table, okay. This create temporary table, and it is the similar as the views concept that I've told you, okay, that we have discussed today itself, okay. So it is this again, if you are creating a temporary table, this again will not store your table into database physically, okay, and it doesn't changes your database, okay. It is just a view but in the form of a temporary table, okay. So either you can use view or temporary tables. Over here I'm trying to use temporary table, okay. Now you see that what we are trying to do is we are using the same class message. So this line was to explain you, that is why it was written independently, okay. So this we are trying to take the date and convert it into date format, and then again do the same thing. Take cast, just a minute. Yeah. So cast the actual dispatch date from the OS table, okay, and inner join both the tables on the order ID. So you see that in both the tables we have order ID as a similar column, okay, and where OS dot actual dispatch date is not null. Okay, so I will tell you why we are writing this line. So let me just select this and I will see how to do in my code as well. Okay, since this will not work, I'm trying to use some string operations so that I can extract the date part from there. I guess it's 11. Okay, write 11. Okay, okay, and now this is not in my, I mean, string format, so I do not need to cast it, okay, because you know that I did all these operations to take in the date format only. Okay, so I just need to remove this. I'm just selecting this OS dot actual dispatch date as actual dispatch date from OT. Now I will just run this. I'm not sure. Okay, I got the output and I have named the table as message date. Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah. So over here, when you analyze the OS table, okay, so I will show you when you analyze the OS table, which is this, okay. Let me broaden it. You see that I mean, there are few null values in your actual dispatch date, okay. When you just run these, you will find that there are some null values in your actual dispatch date. Okay, so we are not able to view the entire table for here. Okay, so in order to avoid the null values, what I'm trying to do is I am joining the two tables. Okay, so in the question also it has been mentioned, you might remember, that you can combine these two tables, order timeline and order shipment, on the basis of order ID. Okay, so we are joining these two tables on the basis of order ID. Okay, ot dot order ID equal to os dot order ID. Okay, and for me or those guys who will face this problem can do like this. So you can just, you wanna analyze the order IDs in your temporary table. You have taken the order ID, okay, and you have taken the message date. Okay, so the message date, you might remember, it's a column in your, yeah, it's a column in your table, right? So I will explain to you this from query because you will see this query. Okay, so when you just when you are trying to convert it into the date format, you are naming that new column as the message date. Okay, because in your actual table you have the column as message. Okay, and in message you know that you have the key value pair. Okay, and you have extracted it using this line. Okay, this particular line. Okay, you have extracted the date part from here, and you have casted it into date format. Okay, cast over here, I will explain it to you again if you haven't. So cast is for converting the data type. Okay, so I've converted this data type, okay, as into the date format. Okay, and I've taken the column name as message date, okay, from this table. And same thing I have done for OS table. I have used cast to convert it into a date format. Okay, now after converting them, okay, so you see that over here we have extracted the date format. I have got the message date, okay, only the date from the OT table. Okay, and the and the actual dispatch date from the OS table. Okay, so OS dot actual dispatch date. Okay, and now I am joining this with the OS table on the basis of common order IDs that we have. Okay, I'm taking the intersection through inner join. Okay, and I will take only those rows where OS dot actual dispatch date is not null. Okay, and my basic aim to get this information was to get this. Okay, what happened? I will run it again. Okay. Yeah, was to get this. Why? Because our question says that you have to find out the orders shipped before first message date. Okay. So what does this mean? This means that we want to find all the order IDs, all the orders that were shipped before the actual date. Okay. That were shipped before the actual date. Okay. So now after you have got your table, I mean your message date table. Okay, so you have this message date from your OT table, actual dispatch date from your OS table, and order IDs. Okay, and you have in your whole question, you have to work on only these three columns. That is why I was aiming to collect it at one place. Okay, and now we have been able to. Pratik has said that Q2 is for order timeline, not for order shipment. Pratik, if you will see the table that has been given to you, I mean, I think it will be provided to you in this format. Let me show you. So this is the format that you will get. Okay, you have two sheets into it: order timeline, order shipment. Okay, so order timeline is this table, order shipment is this sheet. Okay, sample output is this. Okay, we'll just see. Okay, so you can refer to this. Okay, now let's just find the answers to the questions that we have. Okay, order shipped before first message date, order shipped on first message date plus 1, order shipped on first message date plus 2. Okay, and order shipped after that plus or greater than 2. Okay, so for that what we will do is just okay. Now once you have got the message date table in this particular, just see this, I will keep it over here so that you can visualize it. Yeah, in this particular table, yeah, what we have to do is we have to find the message. Our first question was to find the, date before the actual dispatch date, right? So I am taking the case statement that you have studied till now. Okay. In that, what we are doing in this table is we are taking those dates, those message date, which is greater than equal to actual dispatch date. Okay. So to say that, so to satisfy that, order ship before first message date. Okay. Okay. So you know the question, right? So in the first situation, we are trying to get all those orders where actual dispatch date is generally less than actual dispatch date from OS table is less than the message date from OT table. Okay, so we are trying to find those order IDs. Okay, so I have used the case statement. Okay, you case end. Okay, in between the condition will be there using when. Okay, when message date is greater than equal to actual dispatch date, then make it as one. So you might remember, you are already acquainted with this format, because when we want to take or take the sum or the count, we just do this, right? Then one L0. Okay, so you have taken the sum over here. Okay, and you have taken the sum and multiplied it by 100. Okay, divided by count to take the number of orders. Okay, so this you have named as OTIF1. Okay, order on first day. Okay, now your second question was similar, like message date plus one. You have done the similar things. Okay, you have stored it in another variable. The same thing for plus two was there. Okay, you have stored it in another variable. Okay, and the dates which was greater than less than two. Okay, so you have done this for that. Okay, so let's just run this. Okay, what is it? Okay, is it kind of okay? I think it is getting a little. I will just rename it to messages. Okay, now I will create. Okay, you have got your message date and actual dispatch date which you wanted. Okay, I think what's happening? I need to. It should run now. Okay, so it kind of again giving an error around the date time operation that we are trying to do. Okay, so I hope that you are getting the gist of what we are trying to do. Okay, so if this isn't working today, and if you're not able to visualize it, so the final result will be in this format. I mean, let me show it to you guys. this will be your final result. Okay. OTIF plus 1, OTIF plus 2, OTIF plus greater than 2. So this was asked in your query, these 4 parts. Okay, so you will get the values for these 4. Okay, using the same statement, and I'm pretty sure that it will successfully run in your case. Okay. I am facing some issue around string and these issues. So if you are facing as well, let me know. We can discuss, we can take this tomorrow. Okay, till then I will find a resolution around it. Okay, so let me know if this question is clear to you. I will go on to question 1. So this is how you solve the question number 2. Okay, your query will be this one, and I have taken this from this only. So let me know. Okay, so you have got the gist of the things you have to do in your assignment, right? So the syntax really matters. Okay, and you have got the syntax, how you will be doing that. Okay, so now let us just move on to question number 1. Okay, now I need to explain it to you, retention plot, and I think someone has already answered the question. Just a minute. Okay. Yeah, so what is retention plot? So retention plot is how many customers have retained after some set of weeks. Okay, so let's say you have 1,000 customers in your shop. You wanna know that how many, not 1,000 customers, yeah, or let's say you have 1,000 subscribers in your YouTube channel. Okay, and you wanna see that how many subscribers retain after week 1 of your videos, how many subscribers have retained after week 9, okay, of your videos. Okay, and you assume that no subscribers will increase, or I mean no subscriber can increase. Okay, so 1,000 is the limit. Okay, now so this is kind of retention plot. I mean the analysis across the time that you are doing. Okay, so you need to write a SQL query to create a retention plot. Week start date is the first week in which the user ID placed the order. Okay, so you will not understand these all statements for now. Let's just move on to this. So this is your data that has been provided, okay, with the schema ID, user ID, total created. Okay, and this should be the expected output format. Okay, so you see over here that on 6th March 2017, this is the first week, let's say. Okay, the second week starts from 13th March, the third week starts from 20th March, and subsequently set 27th, 3rd April. Okay, so you have the week wise arrangement over here. Okay, now let's say you have, okay, I cannot edit this. Let's say you have on after week 0, you have 700 customers. Okay, 700 subscribers, let's say. Okay, week 1 you say that, sorry, yeah, week 1 you can say that I have only 200 customers who has continued until week 1. Okay, week 2 you say that you have only 190 customers who has continued your service. Okay, week 3 the same, and let's say till week 10 only 10 subscribers or 10 customers retain. Okay, so this is how you want to analyze. So this is the expected output. You have to show the retention of customers across the weeks. Okay, and in the question till week 10 has been asked. Okay, you can also take it for more weeks because we have the data. Okay, so this is the data like of the week start date. So let's say user ID 1 has first subscribed you on this date, 6th March. Okay, so his week 0 will start from here. Okay, so he will be counted in this category. Okay, and let's say the customer who enrolled on 10th March. Okay, so he will come in this category and he will be enrolled in this category. I mean, the first row only. He will be counted in the first row only. Okay, now the customer who will be counted over here, either he has so the number that you will mention over here would be the number of customers who has subscribed you after the first week up till the 13th. Okay, 13th March. I mean the second week. Okay, who has subscribed after first and up till second week. I mean this week. So I think I told you that the customer who has subscribed you first on 10th March will come in this first row. No, sorry. He will come in this second row. He will be counted in the second row only. Okay. Now the customer who has, let's say, enrolled you on 15th March, he will come in this category. Okay. So the customers over here, the number will be the number of new customers who has enrolled, I mean, subscribed to you after 13th March up till 20th March. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. So this is how you will analyze the data. Now, okay, so you see over here, you will understand that week start date is the first week in which the user ID placed the order. Okay, so this is the first date on which the user ID placed the order. Okay, week 0 is unique user IDs who placed their first order in this week. Okay, so over here we will take the count of those user IDs who have placed their order at first in this week. Okay, okay, so until week 10. Okay, you have to take out this. Okay, I think that I haven't explained to you the importance of this line. We also had in question 2, I remember. Yeah, set date style to German. So basically, you know that we ran this line, right? Okay. On running this line, okay, for now, German has been said. That is why you're getting this upward. Okay. Now you see that when you analyze the date style in your, I mean, you want to know that what is the date time format in your current table, you will use this show date style. Okay. And you see that it is month, date, and year. Okay. But you have your certain date in other formats. Okay. You want to convert it into date, month, and year. Okay. So for that, upon Googling, you will find that German date style corresponds to the format which is date, month, and year. Okay, that is why it has been set to German date time format. And when you just click on show date style, it will show you the changed one, date, month, and year, German. Okay, so this is for that, to convert any date time into date, month, and year format. Okay, now I will do the same thing, create table Q1, because I want to load my Q1 data that we have. I mean, I'm talking about this data. Okay, this data. Okay, so I am creating the table to load the data into it. Okay, now let's say I am running the, okay, Q1 already exists. I will drop it for now. Refresh it. Now I will. Okay. You created the table. Now, yeah. Again, for me, this will not work. You can, of course, run it. You know how to set the path also. I think I've showed it to you. I will just load from here. Okay. Import, export. I have the data. So again, it was in XLSX format. You need to convert it into CSV. Okay, so for me, it's this. Okay, comma. Okay, successfully completed. Now I will see how my Q1 table looks like now. Has it been loaded or not? 0 rows affected. What has happened? Okay, a minute, please. Okay, I will not see it. Q1.csv. Yeah. Who's replacing this file? Okay, sorry, I did not change it to this form. Yeah, okay. I wanted to import it. Okay. Yeah, so successfully completed. I hope that I haven't replaced it with the blank file. Yeah, I have replaced it with the blank file. Guys, just give me a minute. I'm just taking the data to the right place. I will be downloading it from the device that I have. Okay, we have okay. So yeah, I have the data. I actually replaced it with the blank file because I switched on to export button. Okay, I didn't check for import button. Okay, now I have the data. You can see that we have the data now in place. Now, next, what we want to do is we are trying to, yeah. So we are trying to get first week in which people had logged in. Okay, so we are creating a temporary table for that, and you know that we are naming it as W0, I mean week 0. Okay, I'm selecting user ID, the minimum of date part of the week that we have. Okay, in our created table. Okay, so we are extracting the week from here. Okay, and the date part for that. Okay, as first week from Q1. Okay, and we are grouping by user ID. So let's just run this. Now let's just analyze the table that we have created. Okay, so you see over here that we have created the user ID. So we have this 4, 5, 6 user ID. Okay, if you wouldn't have used a group by over here, I mean, you would have seen the multiple instances of 4, 4, 4, 4 like this. Okay, so we have group by user ID, and it's, I mean, user ID 4 logged on the 5th week for the first time. Okay, user ID 5 logged on in the 15th week for the first time. Okay, 6th user ID logged in on 13th week for the first time. Okay, this is the week 0 that we created. Okay, now we create another temporary table in which we update all the login weeks. Okay, over here we update all the login weeks that a particular user has had. Okay, so for that we are running this. Okay, so you see that all weeks temporary table is being created, and user ID extracting the week from the created column that we have. Okay, as login week. Okay, so now you see that we are getting this. Okay, so now it is giving you that 4th user ID has logged in the 19th week, 48th week, 34th week, 5th week. Okay, 5th user ID has logged in on these 3 weeks. Okay, so we are taking all the weeks in which a particular user ID has logged in. Okay, now our plan is to, I mean, now we want to find the difference in between the first week and login week, so that we can get subsequent weeks for every user ID. Okay, so just see how we are doing. Okay, so this is your we are creating another temporary table with the name as week difference. Okay, this week difference, now we are selecting the user ID. So you know that the table has user ID, right? Okay, so basically what I'm doing is I'm naming this all weeks as A. Okay, and I'm naming week 0 as B. Okay, although you could have used the same name. Okay, I've just used for the shorter purpose. I have named all weeks as the A, which we created over here, and W0 as B. Okay, now I'm taking user ID from all weeks. Okay, login week information that we have. Okay, these 2 columns that we have. Okay, and from B we are taking the first week. So you remember the W0 that we ran, we had user ID and first week. Okay, so user ID we have already taken. Okay, we are taking the login week from all weeks and first week from this table W0. Okay, so we are taking the first week information. Now we are taking out the week number. Okay, in this week number what we are doing is we are subtracting login week minus first week. Okay, login week from all weeks table and first week from W0 table, week 0 table. Okay, because why, I mean, what this week number will give you, this week number will give after how many weeks user came up after the first week. Okay, so this will give you that difference. Okay, and that was our plan, to calculate that after how many weeks user came up after the first week. Okay, because you have calculated the first week appearance of the user. Okay, and you have also calculated all the weeks in which the user appeared. Okay, now you can calculate the difference, I mean the gap in which the user is logging in. Okay, so this will give you that. Now you are just joining the 2 tables on the basis of user ID. Okay, so this query ran. Let's just see the week difference temporary table that we created. Okay, so this is how you will see user ID, login week, first week, week number. Okay, so this is login week, first week as usual from the data. Okay, this is week number. So this is the difference, right? So you see that the first week he logged in was the 5th week, and then he logged in on the 19th week. So there was a gap of 14 weeks. Okay, after 14 weeks he logged in. Okay, then he logged in after 43 weeks, 29 weeks, then 0 weeks. Okay, so for the first time when he logged in. Okay, so these are the data. Okay. Now your objective is, okay, I will just go through your objective now. Your objective is to get the information for the 10 weeks. Okay, in question we have to only calculate for 10 weeks. Okay, you can also calculate for 43rd week information. Okay, so you have the information for 43rd also, 29 also. Subsequently you will have the information for all weeks, but in your question we have been asked to take out the plot till week 10. Okay, for 10 weeks. Okay, so I need to, yeah, so I need to select just a minute. Yeah, so I need to select those users whose week number is 1 and then submit. Okay, now secondly I will select those users whose week number is 2 and then submit. Okay, I mean, right, so I am surviving after even 2 weeks. Okay, now I will select those users whose week number is 3 and then submit. Okay, like this, so until 10th week. Okay, so this is how you will do using case and when statement. I mean, what are you trying to say, Prasad? From problem statement I don't understand nothing. So are you able to not understand anything? So basically I can repeat it once again. Okay, let me just complete it for now. Okay, I will just complete this round as well and I will repeat it for you guys. Now you have this. Okay, so yeah, so we have calculated the week numbers. Okay, so the gap in which the user is logging in. Okay, so yeah, now you are separating those users who has their week number as 0. Okay, those users who has their week number as 1, 2, 3 and till 10. Okay, and substituting it like this and taking out the sum will give you the count for all those users. Okay, let's just run this, you will see. And yeah, we have to use group by, order by as well. Okay, so you see that you are getting the required output. Okay, so this first week, second week is just to tell you that this is the first week, this is the second week, third week, fourth week. So rather than dates, here first week, second week has been written. Okay, in week 0 you had 755 people. So over here we are talking in terms of user. Okay, so yeah, in first week you had 755 users who enrolled in their week 0. Okay, in this date. Okay, now only 207 customers were retained by week 1. Okay, by week 2 only 193 customers were retained, so on and so forth. So this is how you can analyze. Okay, so this is the kind of retention plot that is being asked for. I will explain it to you once again. Okay, Let me know if apart from Prasad, has anyone else understood this problem? Rather than week 0, ma'am, what is, I didn't understand your question, which was. User increment means, I am assuming that you are saying that, I'm sorry, I'm not able to understand your question, Vishwas. Okay, not clear. I will repeat it again. Okay. Okay, so basically you have been given an order table. Okay. And you have this schema, which is ID, user ID, total, and created in your table. Okay. Now you have to write a SQL query to create a retention plot. And by now you know what is retention plot. Okay. So what is the expected output from you? Okay. So you have to analyze the number of users who are getting retained week wise. Okay. And you have to analyze this until 10th week. Okay. So for that, you also know by now that, till here, I don't think I should repeat. This is just loading the table. Okay. I will continue from here. Okay. Now, so basically, you know that week 0, what it denotes. Okay. So week 0 is unique user IDs who place their first order in this week. Okay. So these are the set of unique user IDs, unique users. Okay. So on the first week, when the let's say program started or your YouTube channel started, 755 users subscribe to your channel. Okay. Let's say in the second week of your program, 646 users, unique set of users, again subscribe to your program. Okay. So this is how it's going. So in the third week of your YouTube channel, after the second week up till the third week, these many new users, these are the unique set of users. Okay. So week 0 denotes the unique user IDs who place their first order. Okay. In this week, or you can just think of it as unique user IDs who subscribe to your channel. Okay. So this is that information, week 0. Okay. Now your basic goal is to analyze through week 10. Okay. Let's say 755 people if subscribed, then 207 people got retained till week 1 and other left your show. Okay. Just unsubscribed, or let's say did not appeared over to see your videos. Okay. So you can think of it like that. Now, for that purpose, I will not run these again. I think I should, give me a minute. I need to drop it. Okay. So what at first I'm doing is I'm taking the first week users information from here. Okay. I'm taking out the information for the people who had subscribed to your channel in the first week. Okay. Okay. So over here to see, how I'm doing it, I'm just taking out the minimum of the date part. Okay. I'm taking this minimum to take the first week in which the user subscribed. Okay. So you know that while I took the all weeks. Okay. Okay. So just see from here. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. My table has been dropped. Okay. Now you see the output. Okay. So while you see this table, you get to analyze that fourth user with this ID. I mean, fourth user, or let's say, yeah, I mean, the user with the ID 4 has logged in 4 times to your channel. Okay, on the 19th week, 48th week, 34th week, and the 5th week. Okay, but to get the first week out of these 4 weeks, okay, so this is the all weeks information in which he has logged in your channel. Okay, to get the first week information, what you will do, you will take the minimum of these, right, these 4 values, right, you will take the minimum of these, so that you know when was the first week in which the user logged in into your I mean subscribe to your channel. Okay, so the answer would be fifth week, right? So the fourth user ID appeared first time in the 5th week. Okay, similarly, if you analyze this for 5th user ID, you will see that it was 15th week in which the 5th user ID appeared in your channel and subscribed it. Okay, also he also I mean, although he appeared for 16th week and 20th week also, but yeah, first week for me is more important. Okay, so when he subscribed to my channel. Okay, so this is there. Now, yeah, I mean, you have so many for 6th, 11th, you have only one. I mean, he 11th user ID subscribed to your channel in the first week itself. Okay, and after that he did not even appear to your channel. I mean, he did not see any videos of your channel, or let's see, he's unsubscribed totally after first week. Okay, the same for the 14th. Okay, so this is the all weeks information for the user. Okay, we have taken that out. Okay, and you know that how we have taken that. So we have just created a temporary table and extracted the week part from the date. Okay, and named the column as login week. Okay, so this is how you created the all weeks table. Okay, now to get the first week, you know what change we will do, we will just add the term minimum before the week where you are extracting. Okay, so it will give you the minimum of all the um, IDs where I mean of a user who has logged in. Okay, so the minimum of the fourth user ID would be five, right? 5th week. Okay, so this gives you the idea of your first time the user logged in into your channel. Okay, so I have not created it yet. Okay, you see that fourth user ID first time subscribed on your fifth week on your channel in 5th week, 5th user ID on 15th week, so on and so forth for all the other peoples, right? So you see that week 10 is also there. Okay, 10th week is, I mean, people subscribe for the first time. Okay, so these two tables you have. Okay, first week information of the users and all weeks information of the user. Okay, now next, what you want to calculate is the difference between the first time the user logged in and the difference between the login week. I mean, you saw the login week, right? I'll just run it. Okay, yeah, what I'm trying to calculate is the difference between these two terms, login week and the first week, so as to calculate the gap between them. Okay, because I want to calculate the number of customers who has retained in between the weeks, right? And this difference will only give you that number, right? So while you run this table and take out the week difference, you see that 19 minus 5 gives you 14, right? So and 5 minus 5 will give you 0. right? And you might remember in our week 0 analysis, while we are doing, we know that in week 0 only the unique customers are there, right? So this 0 denotes that in this particular week, fourth user ID came in. This unique user came in, okay, in the fifth week. Okay, so in week 0 we are considering only those users who came in for the first time. Okay, week 1, so the fifth user ID will be counted in week 1. Okay, so like this, you are working like this, right? So you have calculated the week numbers. Now you just calculated the week numbers with the people who have survived this much. Okay, so they have uh, logged in after the difference of 14th week. Okay, first time he logged in into a channel on the 5th week, after that on the 14th week, and after that on the 29th week, and after that on the 43rd week. Okay, so this is how you can analyze it. And now when you have to take out the retention plot, you can just calculate it on the basis of week number. Like week number equal to 1, you can take all those users who were there in week number 1, and similarly for week 2, 3 until 10 you have to do this. Okay, and you have to take out their sum, because you want to count the number of the subscribers who were there. Okay, and then just group by first week, order by first week will give you the required output, which is this. Okay, so let me know if you have got it now. Was it clear to you now? You can also, okay, that's great. You can also, if little bit of again confusion is there, you can just think about it. Later when we end the lecture, you can think about it, like why we are doing this, and you will get the answer. Okay, so you will get the gist of what we are trying to say. Okay, so that means this 14, 43 and 29. Okay, so 14, 43 and 29, you're referring to which table? Okay, I guess you are referring to this table, week difference. I will just run it. A minute, please. Okay, that means this 14, 43 and 29 will not be considered, as we are calculating for 10 weeks only. Yes, exactly, Ansari. So if you wanted to calculate for 43rd week, this user will be counted in again. Okay, so we are analyzing till 10th only, so this user will not be counted. Okay, yeah. Any other question you have? So that is great. Okay, so I guess the question 3 is left, and we do not have the data for it. We can only discuss it, but in the interest of time, I would say that if you want, I think you should try it, but if you want, we can just discuss it tomorrow. Okay, we have another guided session tomorrow, so we can do it tomorrow as well. Okay, do let me know. Okay, okay guys, then I hope it was clear to you. Right, so we'll see to more of the assignments tomorrow. Okay, okay, then have a good night. I'm ending the session.